From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
With some of the big plays, we might need to redo that soon. Hey, good evening, everyone. We're feeling festive inside the locker room tonight. He's Peter Hood. I'm Justin Prince, and these are our Christmas sweaters. If you look closely, Pete's actually lights up.
I don't know how closely you have to look, but I love this thing. You have a real glow to you in the Snoopy sweater, by the way.
Snoopy's the way to go.
Not that you guys care about what we're wearing. You're here for the basketball, so let's talk about that. And plenty of games in the SAC tonight, or actually no games in the SAC. No SAC doubleheaders on this Friday night, but still SAC teams in action down at the always entertaining Marion Classic. That includes Hayden Smithy and the Bishop Dwenger Saints taking on the Richmond Red Devils. Few familiar faces, Princey, on that bench.
Indeed.
A pair of former Northsiders, Lucas and Andrew Croft. You saw him right there. Coached by former Northside head man Shabazz Khalik. Good to see those guys, but they didn't like what they saw at the beginning of this game. Saints go right inside to Jared Lee on the first possession. Dwenger takes the lead. They're not giving it away, pounding it inside. This time it's John Hoffman going to work. Puts Dwenger up 10-0 out of the gate. Richmond held scoreless for 5 minutes. Finally, with under 3 to go in the quarter, Croft gets him on the board with a triple. 16 points for the future Ball State Cardinal, but not nearly enough tonight. Hayden Smithy gathers the loose ball, splash. Then it's Brendan Lytle, the quarterback. Little hesitation dribble, gets to the cup. Dwenger leads 17-3 at the end of the first quarter. And in the second, they're maintaining that lead. Matt Kochanski on the dribble pull-up. He gets the kind bounce. Team high 16 points to lead the way. And Smithy put on an absolute display in the closing minutes before halftime. This might be the most slept-on player in the entire area, Prince. You let that dude pull up in rhythm off the dribble, and it's curtains for you. And then from the parking lot, take that home with you. 14 on the game for Smithy. Dwenger rolls impressive, 61-44.
We just came out, executed, had a long break since our last game where we played Marion here. At practice, we were working on it all week, and I'm just really glad that we came out, held them to, I think, 3 points in the first half, or first quarter.
We've been focusing on defense all week because our defense has been a little shaky against Concordia last week. It wasn't good at all, and they chopped us up. So that's been a focal point. I thought the guys did a better job. You know, they came up with the goal to hold them to 45. They've been averaging 60, and I think we were right on the number tonight. So they did a great job. I think they took it as a challenge. And knowing they have two really, really good players in Lucas and Andrew, being local, I think that added a little spice to it there. And offensively, we got off to a great start. You know, John gave us a couple good buckets inside. We worked the ball around well, and you know, it was just a great team effort today.
So, Dwenger gets the better of a few former legends. We move now to the current Northside crew. They're taking on Liberty Christian in the early game at Marion. Northside cruising early in the third quarter. You're going to see it here. The post fade from Mike Scott puts the Legends up by 19.
Not to be confused with NBA player Mike Scott.
No, not at all. This thing's looking like a blowout, but the Liberty Christian Lions are lion-hearted, and the bank is open for Christian Nunn. That jumper cuts the Northside lead to 5 late in the third. Early fourth, Legends thought this was a double dribble. It wasn't. Kenny Lofton gets an easy layup. It's a 2-point game with 6 minutes to go, but the Legends respond. Nice find by Scott, sets up Trayshawn Scholes underneath. And then in transition, the freshman Ryan Collins, bang, Bang! 12 on the night for him, 18 for Scott. Northside goes on a 7-2 run to open it back up, and the Legends hold on 60-50 the final.
That was good for us because our kids, we got to get a lot tougher mentally. I mean, we have nobody with any varsity experience, so we've had some games where we played really well, like at Hamilton Southeastern, we're up 8 with like 3 minutes to go in the half, and then all of a sudden, the avalanche starts falling and we can't handle adversity. So I was glad our kids were able to handle some adversity today because if we can handle adversity and play through some things, our young kids are going to get better and better, and we're going to end up being a dangerous team by the end of the year.
Of course, this is a good lesson. This will teach us that not every game is won at halftime, and that you got to finish all the way through. It's about fourth quarter. It's about the fourth quarter, all 4 quarters actually, and that's going to help us.
All right, staying at Bill Green Arena, 4A number 11 Snyder trying to remain perfect on the season, taking on Brownsburg. Bulldogs led by 20 at the half. Third quarter, Panthers trying to climb back in it. Dylan Duff misses the theater, but the freshman Jalen Lattimore there for the putback. Lead cut to 13. Fourth quarter now. This time, it does go for Duff. He had 14 on the night to lead the Panthers, but it wasn't nearly enough. On the other end, the lanky Richard Lang is dunking, and that stretches the lead back out to 19. Bulldogs win this one handily, 64-50. They hand Snyder their first loss of the season.
So come back to the Summit City. Not many games in Fort Wayne tonight. Canterbury-Leo actually the only one being played here this evening, and this one looked like it was going to be a blowout early for fourth quarter. Blake Davison smooth with the crossover lefty finish. That layup puts the Lions up 16, but Canterbury makes a run late. 3 from the sophomore Will Shank cuts the deficit to 7. Moments later, after Leo knocks in a couple of free throws, it's Shank again. Gets to fall in off the back iron. It's a 6-point game with less than 3 to play, but the Lions never let it get to 1 possession. They break the Canterbury press here. 2 more for Mr. Davison. Finishes with a team-high 28. Leo holds on 69-61.
All right, head down to Burns. South Adams taking on the Belmont Braves. Starfire's awfully young this season, but this looks good. Aiden Warner to Spencer Fear. No fear on the inbounds play. He knocks down the 3. Belmont responds on the next trip down. Good ball movement by the Braves. Eric Jacobs cutting in the lane. Misses the layup, but Aaron Lehrman grabs the board, puts it back in for 2. Belmont, they're just a more experienced ball club. Starfires, again, awfully youthful. Jordan Filling picks off the pass. No-look dish to Tyler James, who banks it in for 2. Trent Lehman trying to get his team fired up. They get something going here. Colby Bullock in the corner for 3 more, but that Braves team, though, too much tonight. John Wilder adds 2 more. 60-29. Belmont cruises on the road.
They've only got 1 loss still. That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Across county lines, we go to Norwell, taking on the Bluffton Tigers tonight. This game hot from the beginning. Bluffton's Everett Johnson looking like the running back he is. Drives in from the corner, lays it in for 2. Get the ball back just a few seconds later. Jonathan Irwin, Landon McClish, pops it out to Gavin King on the wing. Finds bottom of the net for 3, but Norwell responds immediately. Good ball movement by the Knights, finding the big man Will Geiger, who battles for 2, cutting into that Bluffton lead, and then a few plays later off the inbounds, Levi Leidig wearing MJ's number, looking like MJ there, burying the corner 3. Bluffton would respond, floater pass, finding Irwin again for 3 more. Norwell, though, they just proved too much tonight. Leidig adding 3 more to the lead. Norwell tops Bluffton 61-34.
All right, up to Albion we go. Central Noble Cougars hosting the Wawasee Warriors tonight. First quarter, Cougs jumped out to the early lead. In transition, help me out, Prince, here. Connor Asijan. I need to learn his name because he's a good player. Knocks down the triple. Later, more from Asijan. Same spot. Ring it up. Same result. Central Noble started the game on an 11-2 run, but Warriors would make a run of their own. Bennett Hofert, the miss. Ethan Hardy there to clean the glass with the putback. Next possession, Austin Miller banging down low. Bullies his way to the cup for 2. And then Michael Hammer, nifty little move to get to the basket with 2 more. Warriors get within 3. They trail by 5 after 1. And they come back to win on the road, 60-52, the final.
Over to Ligonier we go. West Noble, the hosts, Prairie Heights, the opponent tonight. And the offense was what they say, popping to start this one.
Is that what the kids say these days?
Nice little pull-up Jimmy, it must be, from the baseline.
Are these sweaters what the kids wear these days?
I don't think so. Next possession, Mike Perkins all left all alone. That's not a good idea. Buries the triple, put the Panthers up 5. Chargers had the answers early. Drew Miller pulls Hits from deep off the nice feed from Josh Gross. And then Gross, he nearly loses the ball, but gathers. He's going to recompose himself, finds his way to the cup for 2. But Perkins and his Panthers drain the charge out of the Chargers tonight. Pull up from 3 puts the Panthers up 8. They take the road win, 71-61 the final. They're 5-2.
Staying in Ligonier, Lady Chargers and Panthers also squaring off tonight. Little doubleheader action. Not a lot of offense to go around in this one for Prairie Heights, but when they had it, it was going through Kennedy Kugler. Gets the bucket inside there. Later on, another layup for Kugler and another bucket. Game high 17 for her on the night. Over half of her team's points were tied at 10, but Chargers started to pull away from there. Maddie Skimmerhorn pulls down the rebound, kicks out to Lily Mast for 3 of her team high 15. West Noble up a triple. A few possessions later, Nichelle Fairs goes to work down low. Give her the hoop plus the harm. Beautifully done. She'd missed the free throw, but right before half, Megan Godfrey gets the bucket to go, puts West Noble up 6 heading into the locker room. They go on to win it 51-32.
Back over to Albion, the Central Noble girls hosting Wawasee in the early matchup. Second quarter, Cougs already with a big lead. Sydney Freeman drives the baseline, dumps the ball back to Malia Leatherman for the easy bucket. And then a few possessions later, it's loose ball under the bucket, off the missed shot. Somehow, it's going to wind back up in Leatherman's hands.
The hustle.
Indeed. She's going to get the layup to go. Game high 24 for her. The Cougs go up 25. Warriors, they finally get some offense going back the other way. Ella Beasley gets to the cup for 2. And then a little bit later, Tate Cowan, 3-ball, corner pocket. Nothing but bottoms. But quite simply, this Warriors team was simply outmatched tonight. Anna Stainer.
A lot of teams are.
Bucket plus the foul. Cougs led by 27 at the half. And they roll to the 64-26 win.
Yeah, a lot of teams are outmatched by that team right there. Finally, as we do every week here inside the locker room, time to hand out Play of the Night honors. This week's award belongs to Leo's Blake Davison. We became very familiar with brother Jeremy on this program. Time to start getting familiar with his little bro, Blake, the silky cross. Smooth finish, 28 points tonight. He leads Leo to a win over Canterbury. He's a very entertaining watch, as is Hayden Smithy. As I said earlier, what an impressive win for Dwenger. Richmond had some really good wins coming into the night, as we know what Coach Kalik can do on the sidelines. The Croft brothers, probably both Division I prospects. We know Lucas is, and Dwenger from jump was having none of it. 17-3 at the end of the first quarter. That's an impressive win for them. And they might be the second best team in the SAC.
Yeah, that SAC tourney next week is going to be a fun one to go watch. Snyder obviously getting the 1 seed. It'll be nice to see how they respond after their first loss of the season, and see if Dwenger can come in and play as well as they did down there.
And Dwenger lost Concordia, and then Concordia is off to a really good start. The wild card in the SAC tournament, the home team, Craig Young back playing for the Wayne Generals. They hung with Snyder first game of the season, first SAC game of the season without Craig. Maybe he gives them, and you're talking about an Indiana Junior All-Star now, maybe he gives them the boost that they need. I believe they're the 7 seed, and a very dangerous 7 seed at that.
No doubt about it. So